So I mean, one thing there, setup-wise, is still the same, pretty good. Alignment's okay. Take away now, this is the position we're talking about. You see the club now is pointing, if we zoom in here, straight back to the camera, okay? It's pointing up this way, back towards us. Now, if we watch this position now, there's no ball there, I know. But if we've seen the swing as you go back, you get the club back here with your hands and arms. Club's a little bit more in front, so you're pointing back towards the camera better there. Now we start hinging the wrist up. You look at the club position there now, that's a very good position. I mean, in terms of your left arm here and that club face, those club faces are perfectly square.
Parallel,
so that's a really, really good position. And again, if we look at the rotation through, this when we sort of stop with everything, don't really want to turn through. This one here now, there's even there now, so your lower half's moving more, and we clear and rotate through, right the way through, up onto that left side. That right foot now, almost on its toe, pretty much knees together. I mean, there's a little bit more movement there, but compared to that to there, that's a much fuller movement. It's just having that trust factor. Either with the club face being here, we can return it back to the golf ball. It's going to be pointing square. We can just about make it there towards target as you come through there, striking the tee peg, and we can rotate fully through. Easy with no ball, obviously, because there's no fear when there's no golf ball there of a ball doing that. When there's a golf ball there, we don't want that left shot, so we just try and sort of swing the arm and the club a bit more out this way by stopping rotating. So backswing wise, much better. If we can get that club to that, for me, is sort of your checkpoint. If we can get the club into that position there, ideally a little bit higher, but we're just sort of clutching at straws there. I think for me that's a good enough position to swing the golf club in there. Club's nice and square. You've hinged the wrist great because you've got a longer backswing. And what you'll find as well, you'll create more power now with this position because you're just using the wrist to hinge. That's a lever in the golf swing that creates power, yeah? Right. Previously, you were just your arms going back, as you said, sort of a bit manual labour work and stuff. You sort of just almost force the ball down the fairway rather than create power, hinge and just release it.
It's like if I was always scared of coming back too far because the more, obviously I was creating more power, which was giving it more...
and more offline. Yeah,
so
exactly.
It was kind of like if I was scared, but just trying to square everything up.
Exactly. And I think with this one on the left-hand side, if that club did go back any further, it's closed there now. It's probably not as closed here as it is there. So the further back you go, the more closed it gets. So if the golf club, should we say, is at this position in terms of how closed it would be at the top of the position, if you swung back any further, for example, the club would now end up sort of this way. So the further back you did go, the further left it would end up going. So you sort of adapted your swing a little bit to just try and prod it down the fairway. Ideally, you get yourself in a position where the club face is square throughout and you can just freely release the club. But this is also why you struggle with the half shots. You sort of adapted to 100%, but when it was sort of in between clubs, or 95% or 80% shot, when the club's got to go shorter or more or less, or the body's working, you struggle to control the club face, and your direction obviously was affected as a result. So if we can have the club face square throughout the swing, if you swing the club to there, club still square, we can release the club back to the golf ball with a smaller swing, smaller shot. If we go the club to there, still square as we can see, still square. The club's always sort of in a correct position throughout the swing. There's no manipulation required to adjust that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, I'll have a couple of shots on the range then with the ball then now, mate, and see how it goes.